Gentlemen, this is MGTOW Life, and welcome to another video. Doing some laundry, and thinking about something I want to share with you guys. It's inside this box, so let's take a look. Well, gentlemen, this is a 1997 Harley-Davidson ignition module. Ignition switch, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, so easy way to put that is that when my Harley was built, it was perfect. The new ones don't have this little divot on it, but it's simple. It's made simple, and you put your ignition key in there. It allows you to start the bike. All good, right? Well, over time, you get little, I don't know what you want to call that, but the connections aren't secure. They don't perform the job like they used to. The reliability has been compromised. But it's so simple, and it's so vital that you would think that it would be foolproof. It would be, it would stand the test of time. Well, as you can see, this hasn't stood the test of time. Of course, the key's fine, the barrel part's fine, but as you can see, the connections on this are shit. They're bad. And you can clean them, but they're a little bent. As you can see, they're a little bent. And it turned out to where you would put the key in there. Well, you'd put the key in this. I'll get this open again. Sorry about that. So you put the key in this, and you would turn it. There we go. And it would go to one of these prongs. One's for, what do they call that shit? One's for accessory. The middle is off, and the right is ignition. Well, that turned out to not be reliable. And it was a pain in the ass. Now I can't even turn it. I try and do that for the camera, but I can't. But regardless, so like a relationship, like a marriage, like a cohabitation, like a long-term relationship. Actually, no, I think I can. I think. It's kind of hard to do one-handed here. There we go. But when it comes right down to it, that relationship is not reliable anymore. Your average long-term relationship is not reliable anymore. It does not serve the purpose of society unless you want to get used, unless you want to be the victim of usury through the court system, through family law, through, in general, to get used by a woman. Be in court and have your livelihood stripped from you, have assets stripped from you, and be forced to pay the person that you trusted, that you loved, money, tax-free money, for, in some cases, forever. No, that's just not worth it, gentlemen. It's just not to be involved in a relationship with a woman where you now have to pay her for the use of being around her, while she gets to be with somebody else, or you get to pay for what you once had. Now, this looked fine when it was new. Shit, I'm sure it was accurate. It was reliable. It was started my Harley each time, every time, all the time. But at one point, it just was not reliable. You could put the key in that cylinder, you turn it, and you unlock it, and you could turn the switch. But it would no longer provide ignition. It would no longer provide the voltage to the spark plugs to light the fuel when you turn the starter. No, its intended purpose turned out to not be reliable. Did not do what it was meant for. And marriage, as you know, at one point was to bring families together, to keep a man down, so to speak, so that he wasn't going from woman to woman to woman. It was more to keep him in one area and tax this person and able to use this person. That's largely what marriage is for now, especially if he cohabitates. The man pays, the woman just receives. Society just receives. No, it's just not worth it, gentlemen, to be involved in a relationship where, like this ignition switch, it no longer serves the purpose it was intended for. It's just no longer worth it. Now, I've replaced this, and come to find out that inside this box, there's a little connection piece. I'm going to have to see. I'm going to have to put that on there. I didn't realize it came with that. But I'm going to have to take this piece and put it on my Harley, and so I can keep this working the way it should work. I haven't had a problem yet, but we're going to figure that out, see what's going on. I may even have to read these damn directions. Imagine that. But, yeah. It is what it is. It's time to go down new paths, gentlemen, to figure out what works for us and only us. Because what used to work for men no longer works. Like this switch, it no longer works. It's time to seek new avenues, and without hurting people, without using people, find out what works best for us. Because no marriage, no kids, no cohabitation is a reliable way to do that. And I tend to try and stick with what's reliable long term. So, all right, gentlemen, I do appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. And as always, take it easy.